This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
Keep going, let's go! Come on, Glenn, you can do it, Ken! I'm sure they clear the area, but that's what they're storing. He's bringing the big one. No, this is really nice.
Whoa!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh Jesus! Oh my God! Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Oh God!
At a hotel in Arlington, Virginia. It shows the explosion that followed the crash of American Airlines Flight 77 into the Pentagon, but the video does not show the airplane. The video's existence was disclosed in 2002. A hotel manager says it was confiscated by the FBI. It was just publicly released as the result of a lawsuit.
Closely at the right of your screen as a second jetliner heads for what even to the untrained eye looks like a surgical strike into the South Tower. Against a backdrop of gentle blue skies, a terrorist arrow pierces the heart of a city and a nation.
To be sure, there it is.
Oh.
There it is. The plane went right through the other tower of the World Trade Center.
That is a very hard thing to watch.
And clearly...
It's an international tourist place. Lots of people. There's not a plane coming down. You see?
Shit, what the fuck is wrong with that?
Boom!
Oh man, what the fuck's going on?
Wow. Oh, shit. Wow. Did you see this aircraft?
With each step shows a symbol of strength, a strength Richmonders have for this country to keep remembering 21 years later after the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
It's really hard.
For New York native turned Powhatan firefighter Gene Brantley, he found an even stronger connection to his 9/11 memorial climb Saturday morning.
I'm running for Michael Roberts today from Engine 214 in New York City. Reminded me of my company in New York, or a company that I used to live next to in New York, 214.
The Richmond Flying Squad held the event at the city stadium, where hundreds like Brantley showed up to support. Each person had a different significance for coming to reflect on a day that changed the country forever. For John Hinant, a now retired Richmond fire captain,
it just took the life out of you.
He was at work listening to the New York channels as the terrorist attack on 9/11 went down.
Everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket, and all of a sudden.
A moment so memorable, he can still describe it in detail.
All the members of the New York Fire Department had to go up that building, and that, 100 stories or so, that was going to be a big job for them that morning. Not knowing or thinking that the building would collapse, and we knew that we were going to lose a lot of people that morning. And, we, of course, were praying that everybody would get out safe.
He continues to take time, even in his retirement, to still show up and support.
I've never seen anything like that. It was just, breathtaking and very emotional.
As Brantley and Hinant represent two of so many remembering this weekend, they hope gatherings like these continue to give hope that this country is healing.
That signifies, togetherness and looking out for the fellow man.
In Richmond, Maggie Marshall.
The Empire State Building, and what a process this has been. Look at how cool this graphic is of the whole thing. It's amazing. Just watch that, right? As it goes up in the skyline of New York City, and it shows the growth floor by floor as it climbs into the sky, and that is an inspiring sight in New York City, let me tell you, folks. David Lee Miller is at Ground Zero right now down there. Just how tall is the World Trade Center at this point, David Lee?
Well, it is going to surpass, as you mentioned, the Empire State Building at 1,250 feet. We expect the formal announcement to be made later today in just a few hours. Take a look, though, at the building behind me, and you can see the work continuing at this hour on this very crisp, cool spring day. This is 100 floors above ground level, and it is expected that later today, Martha, it will surpass the Empire State Building by 21 feet, bringing the World Financial Center here to 1,271 feet. Now, this is largely a symbolic event today.
Live shot of Lower Manhattan, where One World Trade is open for business today, 13 years after the 9/11 attacks. About 175 employees of Condé.
Okay, we're holding them. We got them.
It was all just too much. What we were watching couldn't be real. Our minds, our souls refused to believe it. The enormity of it all. The shock soon turning to sorrow. As we realized so many people would not be going home to their loved ones that night. The grief was uncontainable. The missing, the unaccounted for, their pictures and the pleas that accompanied them were cries for help.
He's my best friend in the world. He was a great dad, and hoping he could still be a great dad. If not, we love you, Roland.
And expressions of hope that somehow, some way, the unthinkable had not happened. There was heroism in the air that day. The way the passengers and crew refused to let the terrorist turn a plane above Pennsylvania into a bomb. The way so many people in the World Trade Center helped their friends and colleagues and complete strangers to safety. The way the firefighters, law enforcement, and EMTs gave little pause to entering buildings they knew they'd never escape. We were numb for weeks. The pictures from the Pentagon, the fire there that took days to extinguish, the hollowed-out field in Shanksville, where United Flight 93 was forced to the ground. The pile, the search for survivors, for remains. They said the air there was safe. Those who were there knew that couldn't be true. We watched a lot of funerals and learned over time the life stories of those we lost. And as the accounts of selflessness poured forth, we were inspired. We were in awe. How, we wondered, could they have done what they did? As heinous as those acts of terrorism were, what resulted was the opposite, we think, of what was intended. For a good long while afterwards, it felt like we were a United States. It was a great thing, the idea that there's more that unites us than divides us.
God bless America.
So as the bells ring this morning, as prayers are offered and names read, perhaps we'll all do well to stop and listen and remember.
The day the world cried, a day I'll never forget, September 11th, 2001. True Crime Sunshine. I feel that it's important to bring this memorial and honor video for the Americans, for the people of all other countries that were lost that day. When the towers fell, our Pentagon was attacked. Our country was attacked. Our people came together as one. We are stronger together. Never forget what happened that day. Never forget the police officers, the firemen, the families. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you don't mind, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it out. Share it so others won't forget what happened on 9/11, 2001.